Looking ahead to tomorrow at the State House, a House subcommittee has scheduled a hearing that will review whether they can impeach a solicitor that is handling a high-profile case here in the Midlands. Now, they're looking at whether Bryon Gipson should be removed from office for reducing an inmate's sentence and failing to notify a crime victim's family about it. Now, you might remember Gipson in his office also came under the microscope earlier or late last year in the wake of the shooting death of 22-year-old college student Logan Federico. That was back in May. Our Megan Gagno certainly has been following that case for months now. You're looking ahead to this hearing. This bill filed for quite some time now, more than a month. What are lawmakers looking to do here?
Bryon, the bill was filed back in January by Representatives Jordan Pace and Robbie Robbins, who are calling for the impeachment of Solicitor Bryon Gipson for, quote, serious misconduct in office. The bill references a case where the lawmakers say Gipson reduced an inmate's prison sentence by 16 years, but failed to notify the crime victim's family. That's in reference to convicted killer Jared Price being released early from prison for the 2002 shooting death of former Gamecock football player Carl Smalls. The move drew heavy criticism back in 2023 when Price was released, and he was eventually taken back into custody by U.S. Marshals and sent back to finish his sentence. Gipson was also thrown into the spotlight last spring after Logan Federico was shot and killed during a Columbia home invasion by a man who police call a career criminal. The accused killer, Alexander Dickey, faces several charges tied to Logan's death and to other crimes he committed while on the run from police. At the time of the killing, Dickey was wanted on drug charges and had dozens of charges on his record dating back more than a decade. Back in October, Logan's father, Steve Federico, told me he wasn't getting any communication from Solicitor Gipson, saying for 4 months after his daughter's death, there is not contact from Gipson. At the time, the solicitor's office telling WACH Fox News in a statement that Gipson and members of the prosecution team met with the Federicos days after Dickey's arrest. They go on to say they were in contact with Federico and his family's legal counsel a number of times by text and phone. Now, elected officials like Attorney General Alan Wilson, Nancy Mace, Ralph Norman, and Pamela Evett also released statements calling the handling of Logan Federico's case, quote, weak on crime leadership. The hearing on the proposal to impeach Gipson is set for tomorrow morning at 9. WACH Fox News will be there and bring you the latest on air and online. In studio, I'm Megan Gagno, WACH Fox News, Local First.